Mike and Ben, thanks very much for your time today.
Thanks, Matt.
I know it's been an absolute whirlwind trip for you.
Absolutely.
So, which is great. That's what it's all about. You're out there, getting the message out there. But we're going to talk about the message in a minute. But I'd really just love to know in a short version both your stories, please.
Yeah, right.
Kick off?
Oh, absolutely.
Go for it, Legless.
Yeah, so fitting that we've got club footy behind us, because when I was an 18-year-old kid, I was playing in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne.
Yep.
In the Southern Footy League. So I was a bit of a wimp. I'd sit out the corners of the pack and a bit of a seagull waiting for an odd chip here and there. But we decided to go on a footy trip to Hobart, which is just a standard thing to do. 18-year-old kid, of course, is going to say yes.
Yep.
So I flew over to Hobart, and unfortunately, somewhere along the line, I got the rare disease called meningococcal. So
not great.
Too sick to fly home with the team back to Melbourne, and then they raced my whole family down to Hobart, and they said that I had about an hour to live. So
wow.
Full-blown septicemia, body had shut down, all my internal organs were shutting down. I spent 6 weeks in a coma.
Yeah.
And then I had to work out, well, now my life had changed pretty dramatically. What's the process of moving on from that?
Yeah.
And I guess that sort of sits at the core of what Ben and I do, is helping people get through tough stuff, whatever that might be. Everyone's got their own journey, and here we are in the amazing, southeastern portion of South Australia, Murraylands, speaking to communities and having a wonderful time in the process and meeting amazing people.
For sure. Now, Ben, what about yourself? What happened to yourself?
For me, mate, it was sort of similar in the sense of up until 16.
Yep.
Very much my life revolved around sport, and I was sitting up the back of my classroom looking at the diagram the teacher was drawing on the board, and it just seemed this tiny little bit blurry, a little bit of a headache, a little bit of a shimmer, and it was literally that. Ran it past my parents. Dad couldn't really care less, but Mum thought we'd better get it checked out.
Yep.
And end up later that day getting a few different tests done and being kept in overnight at hospital.
Yeah.
And waking up the next morning, opening my eyes, looking around, and everything that was there the night before was gone.
Wow.
I just lost 98% of my eyesight overnight.
I want to ask you, when that happened, obviously you've got two different scenarios. I want to know, what was your initial reaction? You've just found out you're blind. You've just lost both your legs.
Yep.
What was your personal reaction when this happened?
I think when it happened straight away, very much for me it was shock, denial, confusion. There was actually never a moment on that particular day that I thought, it's not fixable.
No.
In this day and age, you think, you're in hospital, you've got great care, they'll work out what's going on. They'll be able to fix it. So I never sort of thought initially that it was going to be forever. And it was actually 2 weeks later that I got the news that I was going to be blind for life. And even that probably took a number of months, even probably years, to sink in that it was never coming back.
Was there anger?
Oh, there was anger, there was frustration, there was hurt, there was upset, there was everything. A whole washing machine full of emotions, mate. And the problem was I started bottling those up as well.
Yeah, Mike, yours?
Yeah, with me, I think it was a bit of a funny one, because I woke up after a 6-week coma, and it was such a gradual wake up. It wasn't just like all of a sudden you sit up in bed and you're like, oh, geez, look what's happened. It wasn't like that. It was this really awful situation where they had to keep explaining to me day after day what had happened, because I didn't register for so long, because the brain was just such I was in such turmoil all across my body. So it was such a gradual wake up, and then eventually when it started to kick in what had happened, and I realised it wasn't just a bad dream. All of the emotions Ben just said then, I couldn't agree more. You're in this situation where you're complete disbelief, I think, comes to mind. Absolutely. And also not knowing in such unfamiliar circumstances, and also think not just from my own perspective, but what my family went through as well, and how to process having all of a sudden...
Affects everyone, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's that ripple effect.
A sports mad, son, and then all of a sudden, he's left with, lifelong disabilities, and just how cruel and unfortunate that is.
And was it that question, why me, at any point?
Absolutely it was, 100%. You look at the numbers with Ben's condition and my condition, they're 1 in a million chance in any given year of getting it. And we actually spoke at one of the club's Jervois who's also had an experience, unfortunately lost someone to meningococcal.
Wow.
How it affects the entire, community, my family, the footy club that I was involved in, and I'm sure the same for Ben as well. All his schoolmates and the whole community really feels the ripple effects.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's move forward. How did you guys meet?
How do we meet?
I just ran into him and thought he was a pole.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, another one. I hate poles at the best of times, and now I've run into another. But this one started
So you
talking.
gave him a little tap on the cheek and he started talking.
I am metal below the knee, so it's sort of like...
If he gives
the
a little tap,
dink,
Yeah, that's
misleading.
it. Ting. But no, we spoke individually, and we thought, you know what? I think not only would we have more fun, but I think we can have a bigger impact if we team up. And people were already seeing us down the street, a legless bloke and a blind bloke, and calling us legless and blind, and we thought, puts a smile on people's faces, makes people have a laugh, and it means we can approach a topic like mental health, suicide prevention, in a really relatable and down-to-earth way, and make people feel comfortable about what is often a really uncomfortable topic.
Yeah, because that's essentially you guys' mission, isn't it? To get out and get the message out. Is that right?
Yeah, bloody oath. In partnership with Ski for Life, these programs, the Ski for Life Mates on a Mission program, we are very proud to be able to deliver, and that is absolutely mission to smash the stigma that still exists, to drive the numbers down and the stats down, and it's a challenge. But I think, as you said before, mate, everyone gets dealt a hand of cards from life, and it's then up to us how we deal with them. Each and every one of us have a story. It's not easy at the best of times.
No.
But I think the real part of the mission that I think we're just trying to put really simply is one of the toughest things we can do is talk. But it's one of the most important things we've got to do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, on your promotion flies, legless and blindness. Now, obviously, you guys don't really give a rat's ass about that. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Can we change it?
No.
No, you can't. So when you own it, and then also you can have a laugh, all of a sudden you get a room full of people, and then it's a subject, because we can make our stories incredibly horrific.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, if you've got a sense of humour about it, and you've overcome something, then why not get out there and just be proud of it and show it? And it's a great way to sort of break the ice with a group of people, because everyone sitting in the audience, as we're telling our stories, they're relating to something that they've experienced themselves.
Yeah, and the initial thing is, that comes to me is that I'm not worse off as what I thought I was, and obviously straight away you guys give me inspiration, and that's what it's, I suppose, what you're achieving. You're trying to get people up and about and doing their life properly.
Oh, absolutely. Trying to get people up and about. I think that's a really big part of it. But one thing we are pretty strong on as well is making sure that no one in any room that we go in is comparing your situation, their stories, their challenges to anybody else's, because when we do that, we start to diminish what we're going through. We go, oh, well, that person's worse off than me, so then you sort of ignore your own problems because you think they're smaller than somebody else's, and that's when they get bigger. So I suppose we don't like to think of ourselves as inspiring. We're just two down-to-earth normal blokes, just like absolutely everyone, and we've all got our own stuff that we deal with. None's better or worse.
And no one wakes up in any morning and says, I feel like having a really crap day today. No one does that. So, you can't really, sometimes you can't control how your mental health is. But there are a few things you can do in order to improve it. So that's what we're out here spreading that message. And one of the things, as Ben said so well, is one of the hardest things is about talking, but it's one of the most essential things, making sure you stay connected to your community and your mates.
Absolutely. And just to finish up on Ski for Life, you mentioned Ski for Life. Thomas family in this local area have been absolutely fantastic with that.
Sure have.
Just touch on what Ski for Life is.
So Ski for Life, South Australian charity, started 12 years ago with 2 boats, 20 people that ski from Murray Bridge to Renmark, 456 k's, and fast forward 12 years, 40 boats, 400 people over the March long weekend.
Amazing.
This year they nearly raised $400,000 for mental health, wellbeing, suicide prevention in rural and regional Australia. So they provide community grants, and they also have their own projects, which Mates on a Mission is a part of. We are bloody proud to deliver it on behalf of Ski for Life in and amongst the communities, and it's just an awesome event, doing some great work in sort of these down-to-earth towns where the professional support and the services isn't as accessible as it is in the city. So I think that's why the focus is where it is for us.
No, fantastic. And the Thomas family do a great job to roll with that. So
certainly
they have. They've been amazing.
Whoever sits here gets the 10 questions. Right?
Let's do it.
They get to know your questions. They're short up. Don't have to think too much about them.
Do I get to read them?
Do I
get to read them?
Yeah. No,
I couldn't read them anyway. Don't worry about it.
No, regardless if you could, that's my job.
Okay.
Okay, age?
29.
41.
Middle name?
David.
Ashley.
Geez, you guys are good at this.
Well, I should know those two.
The biggest adrenaline junkie thing that you guys have done?
I'm going to say bungee jumped or skydived.
Right.
Or water ski raced.
Yeah.
Oh, behind the boat, no worries.
150 k's an hour.
Oh, you are crazy.
He does sudden 80. Yeah. And I'm going to say, bungee jumping after I lost my legs.
Yeah.
Massive adrenaline rush. No, I didn't really do that, but go on.
Okay, nickname?
Hawkeye.
Rollsy.
Rollsy. Best mate?
This bloke?
Yeah,
I
this
suppose.
bloke.
That's a trick.
Sure.
If I have to say, no.
That is a trick question.
Yeah,
Make sure
We're pretty good mates.
No, that's good to see. Steak or seafood?
Steak.
Seafood.
Seafood. Favourite TV show?
TV? What's that?
Oh, radio? Listen to? Podcast?
Oh, I thought you were a good bloke until that about now, man.
That was actually a trick question to see whether you guys are paying attention to me or not.
Oh, here we go. Good backtrack.
Podcast?
Podcast. I'm going to say ours, Talking Tough.
Talking Tough.
Talking Tough.
Great podcast. Have a listen.
I would actually now you've done that.
Yep.
Who you back from the AFL?
Hawks, mate.
Doggies.
The Doggies. TikTok, Insta or Facebook?
I'm going to go with, well, look, I think all three are good.
Yep.
But all three are also bad. I'm going to go with TikTok.
None of the above for me.
Yep. Jocks, Boxers, Commando?
Oh, God.
Jocks.
Boxers.
Boxers. Single, married, partner?
Married.
2 kids each.
Good stuff.
Each.
Well done.
Yeah, each.
Right.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Well done.
We got through.
Oh, you got through. Well, thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate it. Obviously,
thanks, buddy.
you're off to where's it? We get
Murray Bridge Community Club.
Yeah.
On Sunday afternoon for a Sunday sesh, 3 o'clock down there. Open to absolutely everyone. We'd love to.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't see anyone there, but he'll see them there, and I'll hear them there. And
Make sure we've got a
Manum as
crowd.
well. You have to on Tuesday at Manum. So,
Lanham on Tuesday, Karoonda Bowling Club Wednesday, and Lamaroo on Thursday.
what I do know is we could probably sit here and talk for hours. I reckon.
I think we could, yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's do it. Stuff the footy.
Nah, look, thanks very much. We appreciate you coming in today. All the best moving forward. All right.
Thanks,
Cheers,
mate.
mate. Thanks for having us.
Cheers.